Oh man, let's talk about One Night in Miami, everybody. This is an incredible movie about a fictional conversation between four black icons in history. I'm talking Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, all coming together in one hotel room to discuss what they're doing to help the advancement of black people in the civil rights era and what they're doing for civil rights. And this movie is just incredible. So let's start out with the things that work, you guys, because y'all know how we start out here at Geekly Goods. Let's start out with what works with Regina King's fantastic directing. This is her directorial debut, and I already am begging for more Regina King. She has these tasteful shots of all four of the actors, these overheads, these great wides, these cool shots that cut between two of them and back to two more when they're in the beginning before the conversation gets too deep. But when they're on that rooftop together, there are these really great wide shots that just keep all four of our icons in the frame and keep them all just as important as they should be to this movement and to this conversation. Just a fantastic job by Regina King. The four of them have great energy on camera together. I really want to see some more Regina King, like get her back in the director's chair. I think this was a great debut. I think there's some great acting here. Now, this is based off of a play by Kemp Powers, who actually also wrote Soul. So he's had two big ones in the year of 2020. It was a good year for him. Maybe not most of us, but it was a good year for Kemp Powers, and this definitely proves to be a really good screenplay. And I was so excited, I just dived right in, but let's also dissect this cast because I want to say they're the next thing that works, but particularly there's two guys that work the most. We've got Kingsley Ben-Adir playing Malcolm X, Eli Garay as Cassius Clay, aka Muhammad Ali, Aldous Hodge as Jim Brown, and Leslie Odom Jr. as Sam Cooke. And all four of them do an incredible job, but the two I really want to highlight are Kingsley Ben-Adir and Leslie Odom Jr. They completely transformed from their roles, and it's not that the other two didn't, but they have these really cool characteristics that really go with their historic counterparts. Really love Leslie Odom Jr. and the way he plays Sam Cooke. He had a similar tone and style in his voice to Sam Cooke that really lent to his character and really just did a fantastic job executing that voice on screen. He's a great singer. He was great in Hamilton. He's really good in this. So I absolutely enjoyed his great talent in not only acting, but singing and really bringing his character to life in this movie. I really liked Kingsley Ben-Adir as Malcolm X. I think there were a couple scenes where I wanted a little bit more. I wanted a little more passion, but he does do a great job of reminding me of the civil rights leader. So I really enjoyed those two characters a lot. I thought that there could have been some improvement a little bit in Eli Garay's Cassius Clay, but I'll get to that a little bit later. I love the music. I absolutely love this iteration of Chain Gang, and I just like the score as a whole. I think it's flawless. It's really amazing. Enjoyed the score, and that was another thing that worked. Loved this score. It was just really terrific. I really enjoyed it. And then my last thing that really just worked really well in this movie, I thought, was the vulnerabilities of a black man and being able to sit down and talk about these things and the advancement of black people in one room together was such a cool, fun conversation. And you know, the difference between being an entertainer and being a civil rights leader and how you can use your platform to also advance things for the better. So I absolutely love this conversation. I honestly would have loved if this actually happened in reality. So I love that Regina King could bring this to life and make it so believable and make us, and Kemp Powers as well, and make us really give us a taste of what it was like to be at that high status, whether you're an entertainer or a civil rights leader back in the 60s. Fantastically done. Now let me move on to some things that I think didn't work quite as much, and one of them is the lack of different settings. I would have loved to have moved out of that hotel room just a little bit more. I think we start the movie in these various different settings because besides the hotel room, they really don't step out as much. There's really just them on the rooftop, and besides that, there was not too much more other than that. So I would have loved some more settings, and my other kind of problem here was that you could tell some of it felt a little staged, and that's how I felt about Cassius Clay in this movie. I felt like he could have had a little more charisma, a little more charm, a little more Muhammad Ali in him, and I didn't really feel that energy, and I didn't really feel that much, so I would have liked just a little more charm, a little more wit, couple more lines, like some more improvised lines. You could tell that this was a script that was written for a play, so it definitely felt like a play in certain scenes where there were just lines that felt very play written, and it felt like it was written and made for stage, and you could tell that here. So those are my two gripes, but honestly, all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie a lot. Seriously, Regina King, thank you for making this conversation come to life on screen. I know it's fictional, but as a black man, I love being able to witness these four icons. Even though it's not real, I still love being able to witness these four icons talk to one another about civil rights era, being black in the 60s, and just what it means to be a black man. I love it, you guys. I absolutely love this movie. I am giving this movie out of 10. I am giving it an 8.5. I absolutely loved One Night in Miami, and I highly suggest you check it out as well. Great directorial debut by Regina King. I'm looking forward to so much more after this. Like, please direct some more movies, Regina, because this was fantastic, you guys. But you all let me know what you thought about One Night in Miami. Are you gonna watch it? Because it's coming to Amazon Prime this Friday, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. You guys let me know what you thought about this movie, because I had a great time, and I am looking forward to more from what Amazon Studios has to offer, because they had not only One Night in Miami that's coming out this year, but they also had Sound of Metal, which was another one of my favorites. So Amazon Studios is cranking out a lot of good stuff. Thank you guys so much for giving me an early preview of this movie and allowing me to talk to my friends here on the internet about this great movie. So you guys be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts on One Night in Miami. We'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.